Day. Today is a global day in acknowledgement and celebration of the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. Today, 8 March 2016, is a special day because it marks a call to action for all governments to accelerate gender parity and expand opportunities for the empowerment of women. The United Nations declared 1975 as International Women's Year. It was a year in which women were acclaimed worldwide in recognition of their sterling contributions and accomplishments over the years. A number of conferences, both local and international, were held, resulting in a number of new initiatives and actions. There were 4 world conferences, namely Mexico 1975, which produced a plan of action. Copenhagen, Denmark 1980, captioned Equality, Development and Peace. 1985 in Nairobi, Kenya, resulting in the forward-looking strategies to the year 2000, followed by the 4th World Conference in Beijing, China, where a plan of action with 12 critical areas emerged. The post-Beijing conferences were convened to review and appraise efforts made by governments and the supporting roles of the United Nations agencies. International Women's Day is the story of ordinary women as history makers. It is rooted in the centuries-old struggle by women, whether in the cane fields or cotton fields of slavery, or under the less brutal conditions of indentureship in the Caribbean. International Women's Day, therefore, is a time to reflect on the progress we have made. It is a time to call for greater changes and to celebrate acts of courage and determination by ordinary women who have played extraordinary roles in the history of women's rights. In Guyana, stalwarts such as Jane Phillips Gay, Winifred Gaskin, Hyacinth Godet, Agnes Ben Curtin Holder, Janet Jagan, Viola Burnham, Shirley Field Ridley must be acknowledged for their invaluable contribution to the positioning of women on the socio-political platform. Yvonne Hayward Ben, Magda Pollard, Ermia Johnson, Cheryl Sampson, Sybil Patterson, Yvonne Stevenson are among the few others. It is a time to ponder on what it means to be a woman and to recognize that a woman is not an auxiliary or a subordinate assistant to her male counterpart. It is also a time to contemplate how effective and important a role a woman plays, whether at the micro level of the home or the macro level of the wider society. While we ruminate on these, we need to recall how often her selfless acts have either rescued, strengthened, or supported her partner and family, or the social aspirations of her country. It is time to remove the limits history has imposed on women. This year, we salute women under the theme Pledge to Parity, Planet 50-50 by 2030. Step it up for gender equality. We recognize immediately that even though advances have been made, accelerating gender equality and empowering women are intrinsic to progress and sustainable development. We must promote progress everywhere and coordinate our efforts in response to the difficulties that women encounter in the workplace and the discrimination they face because of their sexual orientation. Significant challenges still remain, and in order to achieve goal number 5 of the Sustainable Development Goals, participation at all levels is paramount. Women are still earning significantly less than their male counterparts for similar work done. Women's backbreaking domestic work is still not accounted for in national statistics. Women continue to face significant discriminatory industrial rules, making it even more difficult for them to be successful in their roles as mother and employee. It is time to dismantle historic walls of economic discrimination against women and erect bridges of hope so that we all can enjoy bigger slices of the expanding pie now available in our country. It is time to destroy the male-dominated monologue of women's place in the home and society. And let's begin a discourse without the accustomed fear on how to utilize fully the abundant talents of our females to accelerate their personal, their families, and the nation's development without perennial hindrances. We as a society must not only lionize women's work, but we must celebrate also publicly their ideas. While it is good for society to continue benefiting maximally from the fruit of women's hands, it is even better to profit from the wealth of their brains. We must therefore provide opportunities in all spheres of life for their talents and expertise to be harnessed and utilized so that we can build stronger economies and healthier societies. We have to continue the struggle for the fulfillment of women's rights. We cannot allow the assault on women's human rights to jeopardize their right to leadership roles and empowerment. We must translate this outrage into meaningful actions that will bring about respect and dignity for our women. Our goal in moving forward would be to develop policies and legislation for the protection of women. Policies that will serve to shatter the barriers of discrimination, domestic violence, and abuse to our women. Our investments must be generated with the firm understanding that inclusion of our women must be top priority. Let us make use of the new technologies available to us to advocate for gender equality. Let us spread the message that the moment has come when women must be given the right to develop their full potential and in so doing transform lives and foster stability and human dignity. As we celebrate International Women's Day 2016, let each of us pledge and recommit to the Millennium Goals and the Sustainable Development Goals, particularly number 5, which calls for the promotion of gender equality. Let us strengthen our resolve to remove the barriers and thereby engender equality and opportunity for lasting and transformative change. We need to devote our energies to developing programs with a vision for inclusion and cohesion. Let's strengthen the women's empowerment movement and the call for gender parity. Let's step it up and design a path of equal participation and opportunities for future generations. Happy International Women's Day to all Guyanese women and to our sisters around the world. May God bless you.